Yahweh Shai wait, come to take the throne. To conquer world powers, bring Jacob home. I'm quarterbacking like Jake DeLone. Like Mount Rushmore, I gotta face a stone.
We're not supposed to just let that happen. You see what I'm saying? You got the Bluetooth on. But finish that up. Go into 17. Because we shouldn't just stand idly by and watch our people die. That's an issue that we have. We've been trained to do that, but we're not supposed to. Go ahead.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
We're not supposed to hate our people in our heart, right? Like I said, we've had our disagreements, but we don't hate you. We do it all out of love. There's a lot of our people that hate our own brothers. You got Crips and Bloods, Soreños versus Orteños. You know what I'm saying? You got black and brown hate. We're not supposed to hate each other. This is the time where we need to come together and not hate each other and hate the people that actually hate us, for the matter. Read.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
Rebuke means to correct. Now, I saw your eyebrow raising. I said you should hate the people, but here's the thing: just because you hate someone doesn't mean to take action there and now. Essentially, I'm saying hate the powers that be. You see what I'm saying? Not every person's doing it. Okay, so the people that killed George Floyd, should they be hated? Or specifically, the one that had the man that had his knee on his neck, should he be hated?
Should I hate him?
Well, you can take yourself out the equation. Should the family of George Floyd hate that man?
No, I'll speak for myself.
Go ahead.
Should I hate him? According to the Bible?
Well, essentially, the reason for this verse, it's meaning don't hate your brother. That's the context of it.
I mean, it's been so long since I've been out of the scripture, but I mean, the Sermon on the Mount suggests that, I shouldn't hate him.
You shouldn't hate him. Are you talking about you should love thine enemy?
Yeah, that's
Before you get that, finish that out. Let's finish what's talking about the brother. We're going to show you who the enemy is. Go ahead.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
Meaning correct. This is what we do when we come out. We tell blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to keep the Most High God's laws, statutes, commandments, faith in who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, real name Yahweh Shai in Hebrew. Stop selling drugs. Stop being a stripper. Stop being a prostitute. Stop being a murderer. Stop killing each other. Stop robbing from one another. To love each other. We give them correction. Read.
And not suffer sin upon him.
We're not supposed to let our people sin. We see somebody about to eat some pork, don't eat that pork. Don't be trying to sell your sister. Don't be trying to kill somebody. Don't go ride on somebody just because they did something. Forgive that brother. Forgive him.
okay.
Read.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Which is a major issue. There's grudges that last within our community. But we're not supposed to do that. Read.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
So our people are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We are the same people. That's who we're supposed to love. When it says love thy neighbor, it means love your own. You got the enemy? Hold on. That's an absolute fact. You heard that story?
Yeah, read the one in Matthew.
God. My praises. That's right. That's absolutely right. Absolutely right. You got a long line.
I ain't mad though.
Are you familiar with the story, by the way? Yeah. That's right. That's right. Where'd it go? That's right. That's right. I don't think this Charger's a part of it. I think they're just driving.
Oh, you good?
Get that Matthew.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 43. Ye have heard that it hath been said, Thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
That's what you were talking about, right? Love thine enemy. Let's see who the enemy is. Go ahead.
All right, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 4. If thou meet thine enemy's ox or his ass going astray, thou shalt surely bring it back to him again. If thou see the ass of him that hateth thee lying under his burden, and wouldest forbear to help him, thou shalt surely help with him.
So that's talking about your people. This is written in the book of Exodus. That's for the Israelites. It's talking about if you, like right now, say if me and you were enemies. We're brothers. But if me and you are enemies and I see something, and like say you got livestock, or better yet, you driving and your car break down. I'm not supposed to just leave you out on the highway. I'm gonna stop my car. I don't care if we just threw fists 3 days ago. I'm gonna stop my car, back up, and I'm about to help you with your car situation. The enemy is talking about is your brother.
Wait. That was from Exodus?
That was from that's what
Who was that? I told you it's been a long time since I've been in the scripture.
No, I got you.
Who was that written by?
that was written by one of the scribes for Moses
To the Israelites?
to the Israelites.
I'm going to show you something real quick.
Hold on. One more question.
Go ahead.
At that time, who should be considered the enemies of the Israelites?
Well, it actually tells you that in the book of Psalms. But right here in the book of Exodus, this is the giving of the law is what's going on at this point. The giving of the law was only given to the Israelites. So as part of the law, if your brother's ox fell into a hole or a ditch, y'all are enemies. Say I stole something from you. You're not my friend at that point. You're mad at me. Am I right or wrong? You'd be upset. If we just threw hands the other day, we mad at each other. We just had a whole fist fight. People would think we what? Enemies, right? But if your ox fell in a pit or your car breaks down, you may be my enemy, but you still my brother. I have an obligation to stop what I'm doing and help you. That's why it says, love and forgive thy enemy. Our worst enemy is not the so-called white man. Our worst enemy is ourselves. How are we supposed to stand as a people when we constantly kill each other? We hate each other. We sell drugs to each other. We pimp each other out. We use each other. That's not acting brotherly. That's acting like enemies. We do it to ourselves first and worse. You got to clarify? Go ahead.
Watch this, right? And even when Christ said that about loving your enemies, he's quoting something from the Old Testament specifically. Watch this. I want you to read this. Read that again. Watch.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 43. Ye have heard that it hath been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy.
Okay, it says, where do we hear that from? He said, you've heard this before. It said in the law, right? Now let's read this in the law.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17, what we just read in the KJV. Now about to read it in the NLT. Do not nurse hatred in your heart for any of your relatives. Confront people directly so you will not be held guilty for their sin.
This time about love your neighbor, right? Watch it.
Do not seek revenge or bear a grudge against a fellow Israelite. Fellow Israelite.
Fellow Israelite. So that loving thy neighbor is specifically talking about a fellow Israelite. So everything he's saying right there in Matthew chapter 5 about loving your neighbor and about hating your enemy, that's specifically regarding an Israelite. Because he's quoting the same thing that says about a fellow Israelite. Read it again.
Do not seek revenge or bear a grudge against a fellow Israelite, but love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord.
He literally explains who your neighbor is, your fellow Israelite. So the laws, when you see about loving your enemy, it has nothing to do with the other nations, the so-called white man, whoever. It's only talking about us, loving us. Yeah. You got it back. That's the point I want to make real quick.
Go ahead.
This is just an example of what's being said there. This is 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 21. And when Rehoboam was come to Jerusalem, he assembled all the house of Judah with the tribe of Benjamin, and 180,000 chosen men, which were warriors, to fight against the house of Israel, to bring the kingdom again to Rehoboam, the son of Solomon. But the word of God came unto Shemaiah, the man of God, saying, Speak unto Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, king of Judah, and unto all the house of Judah and Benjamin, and to the remnant of the people, saying, Thus saith the Lord, "Ye shall not go up nor fight against your brethren, the children of Israel.
Right.
Return every man to his house, for this thing is from me. They hearken therefore to the word of the Lord, and return to depart according to the word of the Lord." So that's an example of loving your enemies. That is going into. Because at one point in time, our people, one part of the kingdom of Israel was enemies, or thought of their brethren as their enemies, and they were actually about to go to war with them, right? So the commandment of the Lord came to them and said, don't do that, because they're your brethren. And Christ just was magnifying that perspective of the law in Matthew chapter 5.
Get your enemies is they of your own household. What you about to say?
Oh, and then when they say, ye have heard that it has been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thy enemy. Because some of the Pharisees, like the wicked Pharisees, they was teaching traditions of men, telling you to hate another Israelite, or don't be like, you know what I'm saying, just because you got a problem with them, they weren't teaching the law. They was teaching the wrong thing. They weren't telling you to love your enemy. So that's why he's telling them, I know these wicked traditions they've been teaching us is to hate another fellow Israelite, but don't go by that. We got to go back to the law. So that's why Christ was getting on a lot of the Pharisees and Sadducees, because they was teaching traditions of men and not teaching what's actually in the law.
Exactly. You got that?
This is Matthew.
Let me ask a question.
Go ahead.
So since I don't believe in the Bible, I have no problem subscribing to this interpretation. I was taught something very different about that book, because I have no stake in it anymore.
Right.
I can easily concede to this translation. What still bothers me is God is big, right?
I would say so.
The universe is big. And
Yeah.
it's not even close to as big as God is. What upsets me, or bothers, not upset, it just bothers me, it baffles me, is that a God that big, that can just swim through galaxies that we'll never ever see, he concerns himself with physical geographic barriers and groups and categories. And at a certain point, what defines one nation from another is that it's this little tiny trivial little line. This makes me from nation A. This makes me from nation B. How does a being that grand and that wise and able, that powerful, how does he think like such a man, like such a person? That's a person way to think. That's a trivial person way to think, isn't it?
I got you. Get me your thoughts are not my thoughts, and get me seek not the things that are too high for you. In Isaiah, my thoughts are not your thoughts.
Isaiah 55.
Isaiah 55. But it's not about land. Before you get that, give me numbers. Because essentially granted, yes, different nations, they have lands that they
geography. Is he really thinking about geography?
No. I'm about to show you what makes you who you are. Give me numbers 1.
Real fast. You're an artist, right? I remember you saying that before. So, as being an artist, right? You have like a what is that thing y'all draw? Is it a canvas?
Canvas, easel.
Canvas and easel, right?
Yeah.
So you have power over that canvas or easel to draw whatever you want, however you want it, right? In that same fashion, the Most High God can do that with us and concern Himself how He wants. Like if you draw something on a canvas and you don't like it, you can fix it. Why? Because you're in charge of it. You can set it up that way. What is the picture gonna say? Oh, it's so trivial that He'll change me to do this.
Pause. I hate interrupting.
Go ahead.
Try not to do that this time around.
Go ahead.
The canvas is an inanimate object. I think
we were inanimate though. I don't want to interrupt you. So
I feel like it would be. It's an inanimate object. It has no agency. I feel like it would be a little less fair for God to grant a being agency and then seat to govern us and such.
Why?
Because he granted us agency, and agency is this thing that gives us. Why?
What?
Because agency and self-awareness is unique to us and makes us aware of our relationship with Him. That's why. Dogs are not aware of their relationship to God. They have no anxieties about their relationships to God. God chose to give us self-awareness and all the faculties of intellect that make us unique from animals. So we would feel a little cruel and unfair for Him to make us that and then govern us in this like really trivial way.
But he can do whatever he wants.
He can,
but
it would make him cruel.
Let me say something. Let me say something real fast, right? If you don't have children, do you? Let's say you did. Would it be messed up for me to tell you how to raise your children?
Would it be messed up? General question.
Am I right to do that?
It depends. What am I doing to them? Am I sexually abusing them?
No, I don't mean it like that. I'm saying like if the way you raise your children, hypothetically, right? Would it be wrong for me to tell you, nah, I don't like that. I think you're being cruel. But you don't feel that way.
It would depend on what you're saying. I have the potential as a father to do very cruel things. If I am doing cruel things, then you would be in the right to tell me, hey, you can't do that to your kids.
Okay.
Your kids, you can't do that to them.
But what if it wasn't cruel? What if you didn't feel it was cruel? What if everybody else would feel it?
It would depend. Then you would be wrong. It would depend on whether you're right. It would depend on whether what I'm doing is wrong.
So in that same fashion, how are you going to tell the Most High God? How are you going to make statements like, we're literally speeding up to slow down. Speeding up to slow down. This is what we're going to do. But in that same fashion, right, the Most High God made people. He put us in the image of the rules or the gods or the Elohim. That's why we roll over the animals. That's why we have self-awareness, like how you said. That's what being formed in the image of God is really going into, like how you said. He formed us to be this way. That's how He made it. So for me to say anything about how the way you're doing this is cruel, I can't say anything because He made everything. And the same way it's the same way if hypothetically, if you had children, if you want to raise them in a certain way, I can't tell you that's wrong. I can't do that. Because why? That's not my children. Especially if you're raising them up in a way that you feel is right. How am I going to do that?
I mean, so that's fine. If God exists, if God made me, then He makes the rules.
Yeah.
And there's really no reason for me to fight against it because there's nothing I can do if God exists. Right? Am I fighting against it? But I think most people, and maybe this isn't even an argument. Maybe it's just me trying to present like a window into what happens from this side. I think most people would be upset that why in the world, because I feel like I'm a decent person. I feel like I'm a rational person. I've done things that are wrong. I'm not perfect. But I feel like I have a decent sense of morality. And I mean, if God made me, then He gave that to me. And I'm bothered. I'm bothered by what He's asking me to think and do. And I'm bothered by the way He chooses to govern us. So why does my innate sense of morality disagree? The one that He gave me, why does it disagree with His?
What about His? What about? Well, He wants you to be governed by His laws. What about His laws that you not agree with?
My innate sense of morality.
What about thou shalt not kill?
By myself, after I left the church.
Yeah.
That one told me that leave these gay people alone. Why am I tripping over this? It told me, you smoke a little weed, I'll go overboard. Smoke a little weed, you're a grown man, pay your bills, smoke a little weed.
Christian church, man.
It told me, and all these things the church did.
It told y'all that, though, for real?
As I grew and developed my own sense of what's right and wrong, yeah, this is where I ended up landing. What else did it tell me? It told me that You don't have to wait till marriage to have sex. Just be safe, be honest, make sure you're on the same page, make sure it's consensual. It's just like you don't have to follow this. You can kind of figure out what's right and wrong just based on, I think I mentioned this last time, based on empathy.
But
Just think about how would another person feel.
Hold up, check this out, right? Everything you just said was laws, though. Yeah, like you said, make sure it's consensual. That's rape. You can't rape in the Bible.
No.
I know. I'm just saying, like everything you said, literally, I could pull a verse that says the same thing according to the law.
Yes, part of who I am now, part of the way I still think, part of my system of ethics happens to still coincide with the Bible. The Bible says don't murder. I happen to agree with that one. The Bible says don't steal. I happen to agree with that one. So there's definitely some overlap.
So where do
There's
we?
a bunch of stuff that it's like
So let's get into that then. What's not overlapping?
My allies in the LGBT community.
Allies.
Yeah. I mean, in art school we learned about a bunch of things, one of which was feminist theory and intersectionality. So while we are not experiencing the exact same kind of oppression, the exact same struggle, while we don't have the exact same life experience, there is an intersection where we can relate to being marginalized. To a little point, right? These two crossroads.
What do you wait? Black community and homosexual
community and the LGBTQAA community.
Come on, man. Come on.
What I said.
We got chewed up by dogs, bro.
I'll repeat what I said.
Go ahead.
While our experiences have not been the same,
Okay.
there is just an intersection. There's a moment. This is all of our history and experiences. This is all of their history and experiences. There's just at this one point, this intersection. That's why it's called intersectionality. It's one point where we can both understand the experience of being marginalized. And at that axis, we can be allies. For that moment, we can be allies. So that's why
So what about right? What do you think about Black lives? Well, matter of fact, forget about that question. How do you feel about humanity?
That's a big question.
How do you do you think humanity should continue to go and we should be fruitful and multiply, right? How do you feel about that?
From an evolution, I would just take it to an evolutionary place. I feel like it's our tendency, it's our want to reproduce. It's what compelled us to leave the ocean. It's what compelled us to walk on land and eventually on upright. Regardless of what we should do, I think that's what we're going to do because that's the only thing that we do.
Why? Because it's the right thing to do, right?
I wouldn't add an element of morality to it.
No, I'm out of here. Is that the correct thing to do?
I wouldn't. Is that the correct thing to do? It's the natural thing to do.
So being fruitful and multiply is the natural thing to do. So that's the thing we're supposed to do. But how are you going to be an ally with homosexuality when they can't do that? When they're actively fighting against that, when you think about it, because they can't have children, and they also deal with diseases that kill people. That is more frequent in their households than it is for us, who are heterosexual. You know it's true though. You know that's true.
There's a whole lot. I'm gonna try to
Go ahead.
tackle one by one.
Go ahead.
What I'm saying by being an ally to the LGBT community is that we should treat them with equal rights, we must respect them the same way we do with everyone else. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, how do they not have equal rights?
For the longest time in this nation, they weren't even allowed to express themselves and have their consensual, loving sexual relations. They weren't allowed to just express it in love. They were denied the precious human experience of expressing and receiving love without fear of shame and legal action at a certain point.
So now, since they weren't allowed to do that, now they're allowed to do that. And if I disagree with that, now I have to get shamed and legal action, and certain things happen to me if I disagree with it. Though. I'm just saying they've become their own. They've become the thing they hate.
Let's bring in let's discuss this in terms of a specific scenario that we both agree on.
Go ahead.
How about this? Two girls kissing. Two girls kissing. To me, now, at 28, not at 22, definitely not at 22, but to me now at 28, there is nothing wrong with this. There is nothing wrong with these two expressing, like, why do I care?
Well, matter of fact, I'm attacking this in a really. Hold on. I'm dealing with this wrong.
Let's return to that specific.
Okay, I know. Let's go back to that, right? If they're Caucasians or Edomites, they can do that. I'm not going to stop them from doing that. This is their kingdom. They can do whatever they want to do with their bodies. What we do is we deal with the Bible, and the Bible deals with the Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. If they want to do that, fine, they can do that. But for us, we're not going to do that because we're a set apart people. So we're not going to be engaging. Give me Leviticus 20.
Why?
Because our God told us not to, and when we continue to do that, we continue to get shot. We continue to be in captivity. We continue to do all this.
This is why I wanted to narrow it down to a very specific scenario.
I mean, but it is
why
specific.
are those two girls killed? Why does God have a grievance? Why does God have a grievance? Those two
Is it Israelites or is it non-Israelites? Okay, Israelites, because we made a covenant with him. We made a covenant. We made an agreement with him.
I mean, he granted me the faculties of reason.
Yeah.
He made me a reasonable man. In fact, that's why I get upset about some things and not others. I would hope that there's some part of him that's the same as me. I mean, why does he care? I don't. Why am I more chill than him?
Let me show you something real fast. You have to understand our point real quick. Because I understand your point. I mean, it really comes from the mind state of the world. I understand that. So give me where it talks about the covenant. Where you at? It's 34?
If we made a covenant with him, fine.
We made a covenant with this.
Why does he care about it?
This is Exodus 34 and verse 27. And the Lord said unto Moses, Write thou these words, for after the tenor of these words I have made a covenant with thee and with Israel.
That's not, give me the one.
So we made a
This is verse,
Wait, I got you.
I understand
right?
we made a
Verse
covenant.
24.
I know there's something.
That's part of the covenant.
I know there's something specific I want out of it.
This is Exodus 24 and verse 7. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people, and they said, All that the Lord has said, we will do.
Read that part again.
And they said, All that the Lord has said, will we do.
Will we do? All the words, which is the law, statutes, commandments, we agreed to that back then. Our forefathers agreed to that. Let me show you one of those.
The book of Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death.
They shall surely be put to death. What?
Their blood shall be upon them.
Their blood shall be upon them. That's something that you can't repent. Let me finish. I'm almost done. Just chill out real quick. I got you. Their blood shall be upon them. There's no repentance for it. If you commit homosexuality, you're going to get put to death. This is something we agreed to. Our forefathers agreed to this, whether or not. We agreed to this, right? Now read Deuteronomy 28, verse 15.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So homosexuality, we're not allowed to do that. That's law, statutes, and commandments. This is against our God. Or he'll curse us. One of the curses is slavery. Another curse is we go on slave ships. I'm almost done. We go on slave ships. We get murdered. Our children get given to another people. We get our culture and stuff beaten out of us, and that's going to continue to happen perpetually until we stop doing those things. So that's why we're actively against homosexuality of our people. The heathen can do whatever they want because the curses ain't on them. Evidently. So when you look at us, you can look through all the curses and see how it's applicable to us now. So if we tell our people that their God is the only living God who cares about them only, if you stop being homosexuals, stop being idolaters, stop being murderers, stop doing drugs and whatever, all these things that are contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments, will get set. Read Deuteronomy 28, verse 1. This will happen.
Con. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
So if we listen to the words that we say we agree
to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
then we'll be set above everybody. I'm tired of being at the bottom. So whether or not people agree, well, you ask God, like, why does he hate homosexuality? He can do whatever he wants to do. I don't care. My forefathers agreed to this book, and I'm tired of basically, if when I get pulled over by the police, there's a damn near 60 to 70% chance I'm gonna die in that altercation.
So I'm a teacher.
Go ahead.
I'm a teacher.
Wait, before you go in that diatribe, how do you feel about what I just said?
I think that God is petty.
Come on.
And I think God is the kind of teacher that I would never want to be. I'm a teacher. I teach an art class, and there's a bunch of rules that I have to maintain, otherwise the art class will fall apart. There's a lot of materials in an art class. With middle schoolers, rambunctious and high energy as they are, it can be a disaster. There are rules to keep people safe. There are rules to keep the classroom clean. There are rules for reasons. They're not rules for my ego. At that point in life, when they're around 12 to 13, they're constantly testing authority. And I've learned, after 3 years of teaching, I've finally learned that when they're asking me why, they're not pushing back against my ego. Why do I have to listen to you, Mr. Timms? They're not asking that. They're asking, what's the rationale? Because I'm younger than you, but I still have the same faculties of reason. And if you can actually explain to me the logic behind this rule, and it's not just you with a big dig on an ego trip, I can get on board with that. And so I explained to them, oh, well, you can't leave when the bell rings because you got to make sure that the room is clean for the class coming in after you. Oh, you can't, I don't know, use the paint without telling me because I have to order new paint and I have to keep track of how much paint is available. I have to make sure that everyone has enough paint, so I got to be in control of the paint. All the rules that I have set up, once they understand that all the rules that I have set up are not trivial, they're not about me and my ego, it's not about a power trip, it's actually for them, so that they have the best possible art experience, so that they're safe, and I won't punish them just because they question. I won't punish them just because it's about me.
How is that different than the Most High? Because wait. I got. Well, I'll let you just talk. Oh, wait,
you just asked.
But that's part. I'm still. Wait, hold it. It's a loaded question. I got more.
Explain to you how
Okay. I got you. There's more though. I'm asking, how is that different from the Most High God? Because you said there's basically, I'm gonna sum up everything you said. There's rules for a reason,
right.
not because my own ego is tripped. There's rules for a reason. Yes. What happens with homosexuality? If everybody was a homosexual, the human race would be extinct. Why? Wait, let me finish. I'll sit out there and let you talk.
That's not the case.
But
it's not
look, I'm just saying. Let me finish, bro. Let me finish. You said you didn't want to interrupt. I sat there and let you talk. You know I did. I sat there. Yes, I did. Let me finish. If everybody was a homosexual, if everybody decided to be a homosexual today, the human race would be depopulated in a matter of maybe a year. That would happen. In the homosexual community, what's rampant there? AIDS. You said that there's rules to keep people safe. If we follow that rule, there's a less chance we'll get AIDS. That's everything you said. You can apply it specifically back to a principle of the Bible.
We won't get raped.
Yeah, and then we won't get raped. How is what I said atrocious, man? Come on.
So the LGBT.
What's that?
So the LGBT community doesn't promote rape.
No, I'll say it in the camera.
Oh, so it's pedophilia. Is pedophilia one of the?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. That's a great question. That's a great question. Yes. They added a P for pedosexual. Yes. That's in there. Pedosexual.
I'll get you.
Yeah.
That's how they feel they should expel.
That's a good question. I'm glad that you read it. That's a great question.
Listen, it's a terrible question.
Wait, no, that's there though.
No,
that's there though.
Listen to me.
Go ahead.
The LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
Since when?
You pulling it up?
Yeah, pull it up.
With
I can
the
pull that
section
up.
I'm looking it up right now.
Listen. Y'all are super excited about this. I can assure you that the pedosexual community, is a fringe and marginalized group at best, trying to leech on to the overall LGBT community as a whole.
Really, bro?
Really, bro? Yes, really. Yes, really. Yes, really. Yes, really.
For real, man.
Yes, yes. Yes, really.
Go ahead.
And I would challenge you to prove otherwise. I would challenge you. I would challenge you. I would challenge you.
Go ahead. No, you challenge us. Read it.
I would challenge you to find one prominent member of the LGBT community that would advocate.
I got you.
That would advocate
Watch this.
for heterosexuals.
I got you. Do you know what NAMBLA is?
Thank you.
There you go.
There's one thing I want right now.
I'm about to give it to you. I'm asking you. I have to ask this to see if you know or not know. But do you know what NAMBLA is? NAMBLA. NAMBLA. So this is NAMBLA. NAMBLA stands for North American Man-Boy Love Association. It's a pedophile and pedestrian advocacy organization in the United States that works to abolish age-off consent laws, criminalizing adult sexualized involvement with minors, and campaigns for the release of men who have been jailed for sexual contacts with minors and did not involve what it considers coercion. The group no longer holds.
Give me what I want.
You want it with the.
No.
Wait, what do you want?
What you're trying to do. What you are trying to do is attach the P to LGBT. What you're seeking to do is group the P with LGBT. What I'm saying is, I bet you, and I don't know if anyone here is, but I bet you can't find a single prominent member of the LGBT community that would advocate for the P. They are not accepting the P. The P desperately wants to be a part of the group, but I guarantee you they are being rejected from the group.
Check it out.
Unless you can prove otherwise. Unless you can, I don't know, find...
Have you ever known a gay couple to adopt a child?
Yes.
Okay, so two men adopt a boy child?
Yes, I did.
All right, how would they raise that boy?
With love.
Love. What type of love?
There's so many different kinds of love. What do you mean?
What type of love? What if that boy wasn't born gay? How would they teach him how to love?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't. I honestly don't.
Okay.
They would feed him and
Wait,
clothe him
no,
and
you're missing
ask
the
him
point.
how
You're
his
missing the
day
point. You missed the point. You missed the point. Well, he asked you if that kid didn't want to be a homosexual. Let me grew up straight, right? He grew up straight. How are they gonna show him how to love? That's what.
Show him how to
Look, man, you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't. You all are in on the joke that I'm not in on. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'll leave it alone.
You mean like talking about the birds and the bees? What are you talking about?
I'm good.
No,
Where you
what
at?
are you talking about?
I know. What you got?
So essentially what he's talking about, how is it gonna, so like you brought up, a man and a man raise a boy, say if he grows a straight. Okay, I get that, but here's the thing though. As we grow up, we have, our parents are our examples, right?
Yes.
His example that he had growing up is two men.
Loving each other, yes.
But if he wants to love a woman, how can these two men teach him how to love a woman?
Because
They themselves don't do this, so how can they teach it?
yes, they do.
But again, do you see the psychological issue? As a young person growing up, a child, our minds are like sponges, yes?
Here's the only thing that I'll grant you, since I'm an intellectually honest person.
Mm-hmm.
That child might not witness in the man-on-man relationship. They might not witness the same patriarchal dynamic that a man and woman can have in a heterosexual relationship, but that child will witness a man respecting their partner. That child will witness a man listening to their partner.
Okay.
That child will witness providing financially and emotionally for their partner.
Okay, so those...
All the components that make for a healthy relationship.
Okay, not a healthy marriage though.
No, wait.
Not a how they gonna have a kid?
What?
How they gonna have a kid?
He presented the scenario. He said they adopted. Ask him.
But the reason I'm bringing this up, you said to make a healthy relationship, right? We're talking about a marriage. How?
Marriage,
and
whatever, interchangeable.
Okay, what comes with a marriage? Children. How are they gonna have children?
They adopted a kid.
Okay, then let's take that other question. If they didn't adopt a kid, how are they gonna have a kid?
Adopt if they want one.
Right, so wait. How are they going to produce a child?
There's so many different methods. They have
to get a woman, right?
We're getting really specific about these hypothetical gay men. So these are two gay men that want to have biological children.
How are they going to have biological children?
Then if there are two gay men that want to have biological children, most often in this real world, they'll go through in vitro.
Which involves who?
A woman.
Oh.
An artificial
So to actually have for them to actually have a children, they have to go through woman, right?
Yes, that's biology. So what have you proven? Finish.
The point is, you still have to have a man and a woman. It has to be a man and woman so that humanity can grow.
Okay,
How can you do this if everybody's a homosexual? If that's okay, it's either okay for everybody to do it or for a select few to do it. Which one is it?
Can't. What I'm saying is that there's nothing wrong with it.
Why? Why is there nothing wrong? Why?
Because it causes no harm. Because their relationship causes no harm.
How, bro?
Their relationship causes no harm to you.
Whether or not,
Their relationship,
check this out.
Look at him. Their relationship. Look at him. Look at me. Their relationship causes no harm to you.
That's a man and a woman.
I know. And it doesn't matter, does it?
Because it's normal, right? Because it's normal. No, it's not normal for man on man.
If that were two men, you would be harmed. We would all be harmed by those two men on the other side of the floor.
It depends if they're Israelites.
That's absurd. You're not a reasonable.
No, that is reasonable. That is reasonable. It is harming me. No, I'm showing you why. No, I'm showing you why. No, I'm showing you. You should have never said that. Because look, check this out. If two Israelites are being homosexual, that's something keeping us here.
If it harms you, then you're fragile.
No. It harms me. Hold up, check this out. No, it harms me because this happens. That's right. This is what happens when I let that happen.
That would have nothing.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because we signed a contract with the Lord.
That's right.
Our people sign a contract to the Lord. So when they do that, this happens to me. This happens to me, bro.
Yes, it does.
Oh, if this doesn't happen to me by some kind of divine nature, why do you see blacks and Hispanics being the first ones in jail, being the mass incarcerated, having single parent households? Explain that. No, it does. Because it goes. It does because it goes with my point. Chill out. Because it goes with my point. It goes with my point. No, because my point is, I know, look, it goes with my point. It's harming me because when they do that, we get stuck under the curses. Under the curses, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. No, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. If they do this, right? If they do that, no. Okay, yeah, God gets mad at our whole nation as a people. So we get. Are you gonna let me finish?
I can't, man.
You gotta let me finish. No, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. God gets mad at our nation. So I get killed.
A man. Larry David does.
Didn't you just come up here? Hold up. Didn't you just come up here talking about you're not trying to interrupt? When I just sat there and let you. I sat there, bro. I sat there and let you talk. You talk more than me, honestly, bro. I've let you talk.
But you got the mic.
No, bro. No. You can't come up here and just be a hypocrite, bro. You're being a hypocrite. No, you're being a hypocrite. What I think the things that you're saying, I believe are absurd. But what did I do? I listened. Why? Because you're my brother. So I'm going to listen.
I'm the only audience member you have, so you kind of have to play to your
That doesn't matter.
If I leave,
what difference does that make? Well, chill out, bro. Y'all just chill out. It doesn't matter.
I'm humoring you.
It doesn't matter, bro. Bro, it doesn't matter. I sat there and humored you this whole time and didn't interrupt you.
If I leave, you are preaching to a camera.
That's not true. That's not true. People always say that, but right when they leave, somebody else comes and we talk to them. That doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, bro. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You won't let me prove my point because I'll let you sit there and prove your point. I'm saying it harms me because we signed a contract with the Most High God.
God will punish you if they kiss. That's what you're saying. God will punish you if they kiss.
Did you say Did you say that you came up here and you promised you're not going to interrupt?
I didn't promise. I said I tried.
Okay.
It's on camera too. I said
Cool.
I tried. I'm failing now.
Yeah, I know. Bro, just listen. Can I get my point? Can I please
I
get my
already understand.
as a respectable? No,
I
you don't. Because
So
I haven't even said
contract and
it.
say, okay,
No,
God,
there's
you
more
can
than
punish
that.
us
There's
if
more
we
than
let
that. There's more
black
than that.
gay men
There's
kiss.
more than that.
And we
There's
signed
more
it,
than
so
that. There's
now
more.
that's
I'm
how
going
it
to ask.
is.
I know there's more than that because I'm going to ask you a question when I'm finished. What I'm saying. What I'm saying is, let me finish. Just to be a respectable human being. You say everything's about empathy. If you're empathetic of a person, you will let them speak. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. No, you don't even know what I'm talking. You don't even know what I'm about to say. I'm just gonna say it regardless, right? You asked me. I'm just putting in a hypothetical for Israelites. If two Israelites are committing homosexuality, our people sign a contract with the Most High God. That if we didn't do these law, statutes, commandments, the curse will fall upon us. Those curses fall upon me, so it's directly harming me. So, and you said that was absurd to think that something like that would happen. But if that's absurd, you're gonna have to explain why. Hold up, you're gonna have to explain the condition of all these people having the same exact condition. You're gonna have to explain that. Why is Black, Hispanics, Native Americans filling up the jail cells? Why are we the only people having a multitude of single parent houses? Why we have people leaving their children? Why do we have people with drugs? Well, no, that's not because of that. Look, I'm asking you a question. Why does that happen? No, it's not. No, it's not. That's not what I said. That's not. You see, you're running. You don't know. Look, what's the question I asked you?
I asked you a question.
No, I answered it, and then I asked you a question. What question did I just ask you? Look. I've been nothing but respectful to you since you've been up here. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. No, I'm not saying absurd things about the gay community. Everything I said about the gay community has been 100% correct.
You're holding up the poster of atrocities saying, I got to make sure they don't kiss, otherwise God's going to do that to me. I got to make sure that they don't kiss, otherwise God is going to...
That's how I know you didn't listen to my question. I said, if that's not what's actually happening, you're going to have to explain. You're going to have to explain why this happens to us, to this people. Why do the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans go through the same exact atrocities, but nobody else does? Explain that. If the curses aren't specifically affecting us, explain it. Explain it.
You don't have to take it to a...
You have to take it to that because you said my thesis is incorrect and it's foolish to believe that. So you're gonna have to give me a sufficient antithesis.
That's right.
You have to.
Why does
You have to.
be
No. It's not supernatural. I'm saying if it's not supernatural, explain it.
Human nature.
So human nature. So because of human nature, we're supposed to all these people on this sign. All these people on this sign are supposed to be here, bro. We're supposed to be slaves. We're supposed to be the bottom because that's human nature. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
That's right.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. That's madness. We might as well just be slaves. We might as well just be slaves then. And that's human nature. We're human nature. It's human nature for us to be at the bottom. It's human nature for our people to get freaking knees put on their necks till they die. Who does that happen to?
Who are you talking?
That happens to nobody except us. I'm talking to you. If this is not a supernatural thing, explain it. Explain it. So human nature is why we're at the bottom. Well, everybody in the sign's at the bottom. Explain it. Well, shut the hell up then. If you're gonna say my thesis is incorrect and foolish, give me an antithesis or shut the fuck up, man. I'm so sick. Give me Jeremiah. Give me Jeremiah 4:22.
Yep, that's right.
Give me Jeremiah 4:22. That's madness. That's madness. What I believe in is foolish, but you can't give me a substantial antithesis.
I can.
Get
I
the
don't
fuck
have
out
a
of
mic.
here,
Hand
bro.
me the mic.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 22, for my people is foolish.
I said, I don't hold up. Don't say we don't want to do nothing. I stay here and listen to you this whole time. But you interrupt me. But you interrupt me, though. But you interrupt me. Nigga, you don't get free.
Jeremiah 4:22, for my people is foolish.
I sit up here and listen to this nigga talk all this time. I didn't interrupt you one time. Get the hell out of here. Read.
They have not known me.
Yeah, they don't know the Most High God. Because if you knew the Most High God, you wouldn't be coming here with this bullshit. Read.
They are Sodom's children.
Yeah.
They have none understanding. they are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge.
They're wise. Read it. Wise to do what?
They are wise to do evil.
Why you're wise to do evil? You're so smart. You're so smart at saying the most dumbest shit ever, bro. You're so smart to be a. It's crazy. You know, you ever heard somebody say a smart dumbass? Yeah, smart dumbass, bro. You say it's human nature. It's human nature that we are just supposed to be here, bro. Wait, there's more. Keep going.
God. They have, but to do good, they have no understanding.
You don't want no answer.
God. To verse 23. God, I beheld the earth, and lo, it was
Pretty much in that.
mad.
Give me that in first,
That's
Mac.
why y'all stay
I'll tell you why I'm mad. Give me Ecclesiastes 7 verse 7. Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead and have fun, bro.
Hey, human nature.
Human nature is why we're in slavery.
I'll talk
Human
to the
nature is why we're niggas.
People
Human
are
nature is why we're
inherently
stuck
wicked,
here, man.
All right. People are
Hate their own people. Was that 11? 11 to 21.
people are inherently wicked. I think we're inherently wicked because
madness.
we've been fueled for centuries.
Where'd you get the camera off this guy?
We've been fueled
Come
for
on, man.
centuries.
Don't do this. You gonna do this to my video, right?
Yeah.
Move to the side, dude.
No.
Move to the side.
First
I'm
Maccabees
trying to talk
chapter.
to somebody.
Yeah,
I'm
nah,
letting
man.
them
You ain't gonna blow up my spot like
Then
that. Though.
certain
You need to move to the
ungodly
side.
persons.
I'm trying to record
Certain
them, man.
ungodly persons.
And then what?
Certain
What you mean,
ungodly
or what?
persons.
So what?
Certain ungodly persons who
Who
hated their own people.
That's what?
Disrespect.
I
their
would
own
want to
They hate their what?
Own people.
Everybody.
Own people.
They hate their own people. And what? Go ahead.
Went unto the king and told him that Jonathan besieged the tower.
And then what?
This nigga's a fool. And this nigga won't
that
even
part
let me
again.
speak.
Went unto the king and told him that Jonathan
I'ma
besieged
speak
the
to
tower.
And snitch, man. And that's what this is gonna do.
Someone
Watch.
take the
Watch.
mic from the
Watch.
kid,
Watch.
man.
I know, but
I
watch.
told y'all
You're
he's full
gonna sit here and cause
You
a
can
whole
never
scene.
go full
Then
tilt.
somebody's gonna put their
Someone
hands
take
on you.
the
Then you're gonna be
mic from
snitching. You be coming right down
If I leave,
hand in
I
hand
know
with
I'm
Esau,
only
bro.
audience.
Go ahead.
This
Y'all
is
really
Isaiah
don't
30
scare
verse
away your
12.
only
Wherefore
audience.
thus saith the Holy One of
YouTube
Israel,
channel that has
because
10,000
he despised this word,
You ain't
and
the
caused
only
oppression
subscribers.
and
Do
perverseness.
you know how
what?
small of a community that is in the US?
It's a lot bigger than you.
Niggas like this. Niggas
It's
like
ideas
you got the
or
only
not.
audience,
It's
man.
ideas or
That's
not.
the only
It's
audience.
ideas that I believe span way more than
Perverseness
10,000
is a
being
man with a
emotional as hell
man.
by jumping in front of the
Perverseness
camera
is a
like that.
woman with
What?
a
Being
woman.
emotional as hell by
Perverseness
jumping in
is
front of the camera like that.
transgenderism.
I'm not gonna sit there and stare at a man.
If you don't agree,
you'll
man.
get put to death.
Give
man.
the block.
Death to the LGBTQ.
You
I can be here.
You live in a
Death
world, man.
to
You do
all
whatever
men.
the hell you want.
Death
I
to
can be
everybody
here.
in America.
whatever.
And the
must be
bullshit
just
y'all
like
are
this
spewing
nigga,
are
man.
affecting real people.
Keep reading.
It's affecting
And
real
trust and
people.
oppression
My
and
friends.
perverseness
My
have
friends.
made their wrong. Therefore, this iniquity.
You heard that? I'm the most high out of
as
y'all
a
niggas.
breach ready to
What
fall.
you say?
What, cause your stature, cause you tall? Motherfucker, that don't mean shit. My brother was 6'5", nigga, and I still rocked him. Fuck you talking about, boy?
Hey, look.
Fuck this nigga talking about.
Hey,
Nigga, what? What?
Bro, first of all, do you think? Wait, hold up. Do you think that's gonna work out for you?
You see this fag?
You see you
It's not gonna work
surrounded?
out for
Do
you,
you think
Andre.
that's gonna work out?
Check out here bugging, bro.
Do you think, bro? What am I breaking? What law am I breaking? What law am I breaking? What law am I breaking? What? Give me the law. Give me the law of fools my call for stripes. Give me that. Whoever gets that first, man. Give me that's Proverbs, bro. Hey, what's that? Hey, time's out. Fool's mouth calling for stripes, man. What's that? Hey, go ahead and get that, man. Go ahead.
This is Proverbs 18:6.
Yeah.
A
What
fool's
you're
lips
saying
enter in contention,
is hurting real
and
people.
in his mouth
Hurting
calleth
real
for
people.
strokes.
His mouth calling for what?
For a stroke.
Calling for what?
For a
He
stroke.
said we don't practice what we believe in because all these things gonna fall upon him. But what did Proverbs say? Read it again.
And his mouth calleth for strokes.
His mouth calling for what?
For a stroke.
So we practice what we believe in. Read it again. I love the way that sounds.
Proverbs 18:6. A fool's lips enter into contention,
Yeah.
and his mouth calleth for strokes.
His mouth calling for strokes. So if you want to come up here and act a fool and try to wild out, see what happens, man. Because you're not gonna get a fair one. You're not gonna get a fair one, man. You're not. That's not, especially after the bullshit you've been saying. Nigga, you're not gonna get a fair one. So go ahead and keep talking shit to everybody. That's fine. That's fine, my nigga. You niggas like you is gonna get put to death, man. Give me Second Chronicles. Give me Second Chronicles. That's what Give me Second. You give me Second Chronicles 36. You know what I'm talking about?
Think about it. If
The
you
book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 15, verse 13, that whosoever would not seek the Lord God of Israel,
And this guy said F the Most High. Read that again.
right,
that whosoever would not seek the Lord God of Israel should be put to death. What? Put to death.
That's what's gonna happen to this nigga. He gonna get put to death. Niggas like this are going to get put to Reggie, get him on camera real fast. Reggie, get him on camera real fast, right? I want you to see this. Niggas like this, if you act like this, nigga, you're going to get put to death. And you deserve it, man. You deserve it. Because the Most High God wants to save you. He wants to save you out of this situation and from that goddamn devil that you live with. He wants to save you from that. But you want to love her and you want to stay in a place and practice homosexuality. You probably are a homosexual. That's probably what it boils down to. No straight man is going to battle this hard for a homosexual, bro. Nobody. No straight man is going to battle this hard for a homosexual.
The word of God, man, like it says in Hebrews chapter 4 and 12.
Yeah.
It discerns the thoughts
Read
of
it,
men,
get that, bro. You get Second Chronicles 36. With that Mark the Prophets, man.
I got that too.
I'm trying to.
Go ahead.
Not just black, brown.
Hurry up and get that, man. Real quick.
I love
Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. For the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents
Discerner of the thoughts and intents of what?
and intents of the heart.
Yeah, that's why he came out trying to fight so hard for the homosexuality. It revealed who he was. Nigga just a closet homosexual. That's what it is. He just came out the closet. It's that RuPaul right here, man. You got the same damn haircut. That's what it is, bro. Go ahead, get that. Who's that Second Chronicles? Here, who's there? You got it. Go ahead.
Look at Second Chronicles chapter 36, verse 16. But they mock the messengers of God.
Yeah, right? Yeah, Daniel 7. Daniel 7. Daniel 7. Daniel chapter 7. Start at Babylon, right? Start at Daniel 7. No, now you just put your foot in your mouth. Go ahead, get that.
Daniel chapter
No,
7.
hold up. Hey, go. You see, everybody can break down. If anybody can break down the Bible, break this down. Go ahead.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 1. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed.
Yeah.
Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heavens strove upon this great sea.
Jump to the first beast.
First beast, verse 4. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings.
What does that mean? What does that mean? No, wait, hold up. No, direct him over here. You want to talk to them? Do you want to be scared? If anybody can break down the Bible, what does that mean? What does that mean? Nobody's going to take the mic from me. I'm just going to talk louder. I can do this without a mic, nigga. Nobody's scared of you, nigga. Niggas like you gonna get put to death, bro. That's what it is.
I love y'all.
That's what it is, man. I know you love. Bring stuff.
I love them because they're human beings, no matter what color
You
they
love them
are.
because you're homosexual. You love that man.
Didn't I
That's
agree?
who you like. That's who you like. That's why you're fighting so hard for the LGBTQ community. P community. Because
It's
niggas
a
ain't nothing
shit
but
show out here.
pedophiles, faggots, you nothing but damn
I'm a
devils,
teacher
bro.
with a summer off.
Give me
I'm wasting my time.
Chapter
Y'all don't
8,
waste
verse
your time.
44. John chapter 8, verse 44. That's the breakdown. That's the
All right,
breakdown,
so
low key.
Anyway,
Low
empathy.
key.
Empathy, right?
Go ahead.
So empathy can help you.
Don't
empathy
get in
can
front of
help
my
you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Empathy can
John
help
chapter
you
8,
relate
verse
to someone else's
44.
life
Ye
experiences,
are of your
even if
father,
they aren't
the
your
devil.
And what?
The devil.
So if
Yahweh Shai said, you Jews specifically
If you
right here
build
are of
an
your
ethical
father the
system
devil, and what?
around empathy,
And the lust of your father
build-
ye will
The
do.
lust of the father, you with the lust of your father, you will do. What does the so-called white man want to be? A homosexual. So what does he do? He wants to fight for the homosexuals.
All right,
Why? Because he's a low-key homosexual. You probably was in college, in our school, getting by Tyrone, man. That's probably what happens to niggas like you, bro. Probably getting fucked around in the ass, bro. Keep reading. Keep going. Yeah, if you did, yeah, see? You see? Niggas like you, bro. Keep going.
He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the
And
truth.
you're a murderer from the beginning. Because why? If you commit sin, if you commit homosexuality, you get put to death. If you want people to commit homosexuality, they're going to get put to death. So what does that make you? An accomplice to a murder.
That's right.
You are a murderer. The LGBTQ community, LGBTQP community are murderers. Niggas like you are murderers. You are a coward. You're gonna sit there and turn your face away from us? Nigga, I'm right here in front of you. I'm right here in front of you, nigga.
I'll get back in your
Read.
camera.
This is
Get
1
back in
Corinthians
your
chapter
camera.
6, verse 9. Know ye
I'm
not
not
that
gonna
the
let y'all-
unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God?
hate
What?
on
The
people that don't
unrighteous
deserve
shall
it.
not inherit the kingdom of
And
God?
that's niggas like this. You unrighteous. You say, oh, he came up here all smooth, want to deal. I thought I could deal like a brother, but you know the demon had to come out.
So anyway.
He hang around the damn devil. Hang around the devil. The Bible speaks of the so-called white man. Hang around them, and guess
I
what?
ain't gonna
He
touch you.
does the
I'm finna
same
quit.
thing.
I'm
trying to be patient with you.
Be not
Don't
deceived.
jump in front of
Neither
the camera.
fornicators,
Why
nor
you trying to provoke me,
idolaters,
though?
nor
I'm not.
adulterers,
That ain't love.
nor
You trying to
effeminate,
provoke your
I'm trying
brother?
to stop this.
But
I'm
you
just trying
wanna
to get
talk
you.
about-
I'm
you wanna
just
talk
trying
about
to stop
empathy,
this.
though.
Hey,
This
got
nigga
a
wanna
right to
talk
do
about
what I
empathy,
wanna do.
though.
I got a right
You
to
want to talk
occupy
about
this
empathy,
public
though.
But if you
space.
stand in front of my camera, you gonna provoke me to
Yeah.
anger, right?
If
But
you
that's
had a
not
camera,
brotherly love.
Yeah, that's not brotherly love.
That's
nigga.
not
Don't
brotherly love, though.
That's not
Then be
brotherly
slow
love.
to
Why would you
anger.
want
Then
to?
be slow to
Why
Why
would
would
you
you
be
wanna do
slow to
that?
do what you doing, man?
I'm
Why don't you
defending
be
human
slow to
beings.
do what you
I'm
doing, man?
defending
Man,
human
let it-
beings.
huh?
I'm protesting.
Come on,
this. I'm
man.
defending human
You
beings.
go do that up the block. Go
No,
get
I'm
you
gonna
a
do it
fucking
right
street
here.
corner and do that.
I'm gonna do. This is a street corner, man. This is the street.
No, I'm telling you. I'm
Bro,
telling you,
out
man.
here.
Bro, I'm telling you.
I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, bro.
Stop telling me. Then
I'm telling
stop.
you. No, I'm telling you. If you keep fucking around, bro, you keep fucking around, it's gonna be bad for you. It's gonna be real bad for you. No, hold up. No, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be fucking bad for you, nigga. It's gonna be fucking bad for you. Nigga, ain't nobody scared of niggas like you, bro. I teach the Bible on this block every damn week, nigga. And I'm gonna keep doing it. And I ain't never ran from them niggas like you. And I ain't never gonna do it. So you're gonna stay acting fool, see what the fuck happens, nigga. Ain't nobody scared of niggas like you.